Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Are we live?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to episode 100, the first live edition of the Back 9 Six-Pack podcast. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. Did you think we'd ever make it here, pal?
I didn't, but I have a little treat for us tonight. I found the text. Do you remember the text I sent you the day that your second kid was born?
I do remember. Wow, this is I'm impressed that you have this. This is awesome.
I do. I texted you January 23rd, 2023, and I said, "Happy second kid day. As a present, I bought us 2 microphones. The Back 9 Six-Pack starts this year." It was the exact quote. And
Wow.
You called me an animal. So
I mean, what a time. That was truly like, I mean, you know how it is when you have a kid and all that stuff. I mean, you're not the one giving birth or whatever, but that's all a blur, whether you're the dad or the mom. Obviously more so for the mom. But yeah, I had no idea what I probably said to you then, but that's very humble beginnings. Let's put it that way.
Yes. So we started out with two microphones and didn't know what the hell we were doing. And we still kind of don't. So
yeah, we 2 years later on fitting Masters Thursday, the kickoff of the tournament is our 2-year anniversary, April 10th. So it only took us 3 months to get started after you actually bought the microphones, but and we had a failed launch. We famously tried to record our first episode, and I think you had the metronome function turned on in GarageBand. So the whole thing is just ticking and ticking and ticking. I'm trying to hire some freelancer in some Middle Eastern country or something to take it out. It wasn't happening. So yeah, first episode was the week after the 2023 Masters. So
yeah, that lost episode. To this day, when I save episodes and I get ready to upload them, I'm always an episode ahead because I don't want that episode to be lost forever. It needs to be continually reminded to me how much I messed up in the very beginning. So,
oh, man. Well, hopefully we've gotten better at this along the way, and it's at least more enjoyable to listen to. Hopefully a little more quality. But yeah, it's been fun. It's crazy to think 2 years, Like you said, there's been kids that have been born.
I think that's the craziest part. Yeah.
Yeah, like how many life events have happened. I had an appendix when we started this. I don't have that anymore. Long story short, cheers to you, buddy. 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm still not drinking. I got the marathon training, but we're going LD tonight.
Oh gosh. Here's the at least 2 more years.
Yeah. I might have too much green. Can you tell I'm happy for the Masters here?
Yeah, it's like an extended St. Patty's Day in this episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you are there watching live on Instagram or X, wherever you are, please hit that like button for us. Leave us a comment. We can try to get to those. I think we have a way to see them, so we'll try to figure that out. That's the other thing. Bear with us if the quality's a little off or if things come and go. Appreciate some grace there. But as always, subscribe, like, review, follow us on social media at Back9Sixpack. Got some fan mail, actually. A couple of people wrote in. We'll get to that later in the show as well.
I've got a text I received. He said it was a hot take. I just thought it was a great take. So we'll see how that goes over as well.
Okay, good to know. But yeah, as always, if you want to send us some fan mail there's a link down in our show description. Click that and you can send us a message. This is going to be a pretty much full go on Masters. This is probably the one tournament we actually legitimately quote unquote cover, if you want to call it that. Definitely our biggest preview of the year. But before we get there, a little bit of our golf before we jump in. I'm back on the stack. We are officially back after a 6-week layoff post-appendix. I can let everybody know, because I know people are very curious about this, of course. I lost, I think, 3 to 4 miles swing speed or stack swing speed. So not super hateful. I'm still up from where I started, the baseline. Went to the range, took the launch monitor with me for the first time. Got a few numbies, trying to get a baseline set where I'm at. Like I said in my goals, I need to start tracking ball speed. I can't be so obsessed with just the swing of the speed.
Yeah.
I need to see how it translates to actually hitting a golf ball. First time ever I've recorded 150 ball speed. I know it's not a huge number, but that's a start, and it's a good round number that makes me feel like, all right, we're hitting 150 now. It's higher than whatever I was doing before I started stacking. And now let's just build from here.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy how much the appendix affected you. I think it's more of where the incision is at, maybe necessarily than like muscle loss or speed loss. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. I will put that out there. I am not a doctor, but I just feel like where the incision's at, you're probably a little hesitant too, maybe. I don't know.
Not anymore. I didn't get back into it as soon as I could have, purely because like it just didn't feel good to swing, right? Like it hurt for longer. Like I was cleared to do stuff, but it hurt for a period after what that clearance point was. So I gave it a full 6 weeks. Figured I'd let it get a little bit warmer, even though it's kind of gotten colder again. But yeah, the body feels good. I feel better swinging right now than I have in a while. So I do think that the appendix was slowly kind of sucking my energy, and I just wasn't able to give it what I could. That coupled with the training for the half marathon, I think I just feel physically like better. In a good spot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And then shout out to me for to growing the game. I could be on Live how much I'm growing the game over here. The
you might be doing more. Who knows?
I possibly. Hey, me and Bryson just growing the shit out of the game. I took Zach to his first free junior clinic. Kid absolutely loved it. He's fired up. We signed him up for Junior Golf 1. Shout out to Meadowlinks Golf Academy here in Cincinnati. They do an awesome job with their junior program. So super affordable, super accessible. Got him signed up for that. He's fired up. He starts this week. And we'll just kind of see where it goes from there. You know, they've got a whole series. If he wants to stick with it, we'll keep it on. If he wants to do something else, that's fine too.
Yeah. No, there's so many junior camps now, and I think it's awesome. I actually just found an all girls junior camp that I want to get my girls involved in. I think it kind of got lost in like the whole Tiger Woods craze. Just people started golfing because golf was cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think we kind of got away from some of the junior stuff for a little bit, but I think it's starting to come back now. I really do. You kind of see junior camps almost every weekend now, which I love. And, you know, that's the easiest way to get a kid into the game is let them go out there with other kids that are probably just as new to the game as they are, and just kind of let them go. Like, don't teach them too much. Just like make it fun and let them go. I think is the best way to do it.
And I mean, having been on both sides of this now, from, you know, being the kid and the parent, like there's just something about going and seeing a different coach that's not your mom or dad, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like there's, I don't know. It's just like you can learn from a teacher better than you learn from your parents sometimes. Like it's just, I don't know. It opens up a different language for them.
And you know, like this is going to be our 4th year in PGA Junior League for my oldest kid. You know, the first year I always stayed back. I realized a long time ago. I have people ask me all the time, like, "Can you give me a lesson?" I'm a terrible teacher. I'm just going to let you know that up front. I'm not a good teacher. Biggest reason is like I'm such a field player. I've never had the mechanics, like the pure mechanics of a golf swing. But like we started PGA Junior League and like I kind of was trying to like give her tips and she wanted nothing to do with me. So for like the last 3 years, when they have a match, I get in the cart, you know, I cheer her on, tell her good shot, and that's it. And, you know, there's some other dads that kind of get out there and get really involved. And I'm just like there's pros here for a reason, right? There's teaching pros here for a reason. And she wants nothing to do with me. Like she listens to me at home all the time. The last thing she wants to do is go to the golf course and listen to me, you know, critique her or whatever. So yeah, they definitely get them to non-parent teachers for sure.
Yeah, I think it's worth it for sure. Anything on your end? Have you played yet?
No, I did some virtual golf on Friday, obviously with the rain. Our courses are probably pretty unplayable at this point. So I did some there, played a quick 18 holes. It was good. I'm past the point of hitting into a screen. I'm kind of over it. It's not, you know, in the winter, it's exciting because you're like, I get a club in my hand. When you get to April and you're still hitting into a screen, it's not as fun. And guarantee it's not as fun. No, hopefully we're not supposed to get rain for a while. That's what it's looking like right now. Maybe in the next week or so, I'll finally get back out on the actual golf course. It sucks because, I played golf on a real golf course in the beginning of March and haven't played on a real golf course since. So, kind of teased me a little bit. I didn't know it was going to be a whole nother month before I saw actual grass again. So,
I know. Just when you think it's here, it's farther away than ever.
I can tell you this: I am officially in the injury. I'm very aware of everything I'm doing right now because I am like a month out from going to Scotland. No major injuries. Like that's like, I know they say if you try to avoid injuries, you're more likely to get injuries, but I'm trying to be very aware of like not walking in the dark at night, like tripping over stuff. Like I'm a rolled ankle away from being maybe in pain in Scotland. So
yeah,
prevention is key at this point.
Just avoid fences and you should be all right.
Touche.
All right, quick. We're going to transition to pro golf now. Quick note: Brian Harman won the Valero Texas Open.
Your guy.
We're moving on. That happened. We're just moving on from there.
Did you hear the story though? The family friend that went into hospice care.
Oh man, you're not gonna hit me with that.
I am gonna hit you with that because his son, I guess I don't know how long ago it was, but his son like ran into the ocean and was like drowning, and this family friend ran out and saved his son. I want to say that was maybe a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago. Well, that same family friend is just got put into hospice care on Saturday night. So he was kind of playing for a little more than just the paycheck on Sunday. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not trying to make you feel like an asshole. Maybe I am, just the slightest little bit. But I thought that story was pretty cool when they started telling it, and yeah, man, it kind of pulled some heartstrings for sure.
Well, geez, yeah, definitely make me feel like an asshole. The first time we go live too, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
The Brian, you got to get the Brian Harman hate out of your, you just got to get it out of your heart.
Yeah, honestly, it's just gotten to the point where it's a bit, and you got to have bits.
You're just gonna. Is that a hill you're gonna die on? That's a hill you're gonna die on.
Potentially could be. But yeah, okay. Well, look, shout out to him and his friend and all of that. Thoughts and prayers, T's and P's.
You didn't know.
I had no idea.
You didn't know. If you knew and still went that way, then you're kind of a heel. But you did not know.
Yeah. Well, I guess everybody watch out for the Brian Harman narrative then at the Masters this week. It could be big payout if you're into that kind of thing.
Maybe.
And with that, into the 2025 Masters we go. I took like a large chunk of the field here and just blasted the current odds, at least the odds as of this afternoon from DraftKings Sportsbook. This is not gambling advice, first and foremost. I just wanted a way to kind of contextualize the field, kind of talk through some players and stuff before we get into some other things. We're going to do a couple segments, a little bit of a draft, some ideal final groups we want to see on Sunday, all that kind of stuff. But first, I figured we just kind of run through the field a little bit. So I broke these out kind of based on odds. Favorites, obviously Scotty Scheffler plus 400, Rory McIlroy plus 650, John Rahm plus 1300, Morikawa, Bryson, and Xander Schauffele are all plus 1800, Ludwig plus 2000. And from here on out, I will be using the English odds. So you're going to be getting 20-1 instead of these American odds. I hate the plus, 1,000 stuff. But I think that group of players is sort of the lead favorites, right? Like those are the lead dogs here.
Yep.
What stands out? Anything you like there?
Man, I will tell you this. The more I convince myself, the more, like, I'm just convincing myself like this is the Rory year, even though I've hammered left and right that I thought the mental hurdle of him winning at Augusta was just going to be too much. Considering he stole a kid's cell phone heckling him about the Masters. Not a lot of compelling, mental toughness there, but yeah, I just, man, it's really hard for me to kind of get off the Rory. Every time I think about someone else, I'm like, but he's won twice this year. Like, that's what I keep telling myself. So, I mean, I really like Rory and those favorites. The rest of them, I mean, I guess Rahm played pretty well this week at the Row, at the Live event. But like Morikawa, Bryson, I mean, I know he played better there last year, but And maybe Bryson was second on that list of like the favorites that I like, but Rory, I just kept coming back to Rory.
I'm with you. You already know I'm bought in. Officially bought in last week. I might buy in more. Who knows? What do you think about Ludwig after the second place last year? Do we think he's going to repeat that kind of performance or no?
I don't know. He's been so up and down this year that it's kind of hard to track when he's going to play well. I mean, just because of his talent level, he'll probably find a way to backdoor into a top 10. I don't see him winning though. I just think there's too many other guys playing too well for him to win.
Yeah, there's a lot of these guys up here. Clearly, obviously, they're here for a reason. But you hear a lot of people talk about the trends, like you need to have a win within the last 6 months and a previous top 10 at the Masters or the last major. All these different trends. These guys all kind of fit that bill. The thing with Morikawa, I think, is like I didn't know this. He has 3 straight top 10s here at the Masters. Has never missed a cut. But he hasn't won in over 2 years now. I don't know that I can trust somebody who's on that long of a drought, as I will go and bet Jordan Spieth later, but don't worry about that. I just don't, it feels like it's going to be really hard for him to end a drought in such a big spot,
Yeah, that's why it never even him and Xander kind of just throwaways in those top favorites for me.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler, like, he isn't winning like he did last year, but man, it's still really good.
I mean,
is he just going to win?
It's kind of one of those things. Like he could come in and they're like, "Oh, he shot 85 last week," and I'd be like, "He's still got a chance to win. Like he'll still find a way." You don't win here twice by accident. Like it just doesn't happen. So
I think the only thing really going against Scotty is history, because I think Jack was the only one to do 3 out of 4 years, and the last person to go back to back was Tiger in 01 and 02. So it's like, all right, he's either going to be Jack and Tiger, or he's going to get got by the fact that he's not. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's tough. But I think I'm with you. I do think Rahm's sneaky too. I would like to see if Rahm's number drifted a little bit. I can see myself getting invested there.
Yeah, 1,300 seems like I'd say like 18, 1,900. I'd be like, okay, I'm in.
That's what I mean.
1,300 just feels a little low for me.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up real quick because I saw this earlier. His form. I mean, he's got a win obviously, and then he's got 4 other top 10s. He had the T45 last year coming as the defending champion, but that's like normal for the defending champion to kind of have that sort of finish here. So, man, I'm intrigued to watch the Rahm number a little bit. Yeah.
I again 1,300. I've got other people to waste money on.
Yeah,
but 18, 1,900, maybe. It's hard to translate live success like on a smaller field to the next week where it's like a full field of guys. It's really, really hard. I know Bryson kind of did it with, coming from live, going to the US Open and winning. I think they played like 2 weeks prior to the US Open. It's just hard but Doral is no joke. Like that is a very, very tough track. But I don't know. I want him, and we'll get into the final groupings. I want him to play well, but to win, I don't know. I can't waste. I got money to waste on Jordan.
God, we were losers, I swear. All right. Next up, this is the next up group. This is pretty much everybody from beyond 20-1 up to about 50-1. JT 25-1. Brooks and Hideki at 30-1. Spieth and Neiman, best player in the world at 35-1. Can you imagine?
I mean, gosh,
what kind of break?
Free money.
Free money. Victor Hovland, Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantlay, 40-1. Hatton and Shane Lowry at 45-1.
So the interesting one here is Shane Lowry fell into that category of, those kind of parameters of the last 7 Masters champions, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But he's been playing pretty well. I mean, the problem is I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a turn. Like you get that gut feeling where you're just like, doesn't feel like a tournament he's going to win. Masters just doesn't feel like that for him. I don't know. Again, there's just too many guys with too much firepower in front of him for him to have a chance, I guess.
It just feels like he's he's one of these guys I think that needs a little bit of the slower greens with the way he putts. I don't think he does too well on the fast green, the big breaks and all that. He's that's why I think you see him do well, obviously, in like the Open and or tournaments where the U.S. Open, where just like his ball striking matters so much. The Masters, you have to have a little bit of artist in you, and I don't know if he's got enough of that.
Yeah, I'm going to throw in, because the national championship's on right now. I'm going to compare him in like basketball terms of this year. He's the Gonzaga of the Masters tournament this year. The analytics love him, right?
Sure,
they do. But when you start looking at the path to get there, it just doesn't look well, and looks like a second round loss, right? So, I look. I know he falls into that category. Of all the guys that fell in that category, I'm like, he's got the least chance out of all those guys for sure.
Yeah.
Even though he's got the metrics.
Honestly, if it was going to be a Masters, it was sort of like the year Willett won or the year Zach Johnson won, kind of like one of these like mutter plotter type Masters that are low scoring. I would want him. Like, I'd want money on Shane Lowry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Conditions look like they'd be pretty good this week, so I just don't know if he's got enough horses to get across the finish.
Yeah, I agree.
Fleetwood never wins. We can cross him off. Cantlay stinks. God, that was you can blame me for last week's one and done. Get out of here. I don't know what to do about Hovland, man. He won out of nowhere. I think he's still lost.
Thought he had it figured out.
I don't know if he does or doesn't, but like 40-1 on Hovland. I'm telling you, he's getting that. Like, remember when JT got up to like 60-1 a couple years ago, or like a year and a half ago? And it's like, I mean, look, if you're going to put JT at 60-1, I'm going to bet on him like every single week. It's kind of he's getting in that territory where it's like 40-1. I mean, the guy clearly has the talent. We've seen it. Yeah.
Heck, we saw it 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, we went from like thinking he was dead at the Players, right? And then he wins the next week. And now it's like, I don't know. But at 40-1, I mean, it's probably worth a sprinkle. I mean, at the very minimum, it's worth a sprinkle.
Oh, man. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. You look at his history. So he misses a cut last year, T7 and 23, but then nothing better than like a T21 outside of that. And his form coming in, obviously, he had the win, but then cut, WD. I have no idea what in the hell to think about him.
Yeah, but again, 40-1. It's like JT I'm telling you, it's like, you're going to throw those odds out there. I'm going to have to put something on it. Like, he's just too good.
Yeah. I got another bet that I've placed in this group of players. I'm just too much of a sucker. I think I saw him. It was 35-1 at the time. If you're going to give me Brooks at 35-1 at a major, I'm just going to take it, because he might just decide this is the week, I don't know. I
mean, look, the guy's a proven. I mean, any major. If you're going to bet on him in any major, it's never. I don't. When I bet on other guys, like our guy Jordan, rest in peace. You kind of just like, I'm doing this because I'm a fan. With Brooks, you're like, I'm doing this because this feels like the easy bet to make and not feel bad about losing the money you place on him, because you would be super mad if you didn't place the bet in anyone, because you can kind of, read the room a little bit. And it's like, I'm not going to be mad if I lose money on him, on a bet on him, especially in a major.
Yeah. I mean, when you're making outright golf bets, it's like so ridiculous to even think you're going to win anyway. You may as well go down with a guy that can win. Like, if he's in the mix, he can do it.
Yeah. It's so hard. I've wasted so much money. I mean, I've won a couple times. I guess that kind of like makes, because usually pretty good odds, so you're making some money up. But it's like, I'm definitely in the red. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, just look at our one and done track history. I am definitely in the red. So.
Yeah, I know. The other name we obviously have to talk about here, Spieth. You're already in, right?
Yeah, Oh yeah, I've been in.
I want to be in, but I'm just like at this point, I've been too in that I'm like scared. So sell me. Why are you in?
This is Jordan. Like, okay, I mean, like, again, it's like, you're going to be mad if you don't bet him the time it turns, right? And he wins. I'm telling you, it's like a FOMO. Like, you don't want to miss out on you bet him all these other times. Why now? Like, just continue the train. Like, just place a bet. When it happens, you're going to be super happy. As you know, but if you don't bet it and I'm on him and he wins, you can never bet him again. I'm just letting you know that.
Yeah, I might have to do it purely out of the FOMO of you have already done it. If you win without me, I won't be able to live with that.
Yeah, Sunday night you will not be sleeping well if you realize after all these bets we placed on him that I finally got one without you. I don't think you can live with that.
Yeah. I found a note here that I want to talk about in a minute, but I want to get through more of the players before we do that. So, all right, this next group, I'm calling this the Can They Actually Do It group. This is everybody 50 to 1 up to like 100 to 1, right? So, really interesting name here for me, I think. Russ Henley, 55 to 1. Behind him, Cam Smith, Minwoo Lee, Robert McIntyre, 60 to 1. What a crew. Behind them, Akshay, Will Zalatoris, Sergio. Sergio was a month ago almost 200 to 1. He's down to 65 to 1. The guy's been golfing his ball on Live.
I've noticed he's playing better. I will never speak badly about Russ Henley again. I think I said I wouldn't watch the Ryder Cup if he was on the team. I think I'm backing down from that take, actually.
Yeah, good. Welcome back.
I don't hate the guy, and it probably sets up well for him. He putts the ball really well. I don't think he's the longest guy in the world, which probably is going to hurt him a little bit. I don't know how soft it is. I know they got some rain today, but I'll never speak poorly of Russ Henley. He's probably the one I would give the most chance out of all of these guys.
Hold on, let me keep going too. Corey Connors, 70 to 1. Behind that, Finau Straka Day, 75 to 1. Wyndham Clark alone at 80 to 1. And Tom Kim, just ignore him, 90 to 1. I'm with you though. Henley, I think of this, there's two names here. I don't know that Henley can actually win the Masters. I think he could definitely be in the mix. Like he's around a lot and he's been popping up more and more in these big events. He just won at API. Like he fits a lot of the trends even. Georgia Bulldog, of course, too. So
yeah, playing on home turf.
The other name he's been playing like dog shit, I think, on Live, but Cam Smith just pops up the Masters. I think he's got a top 10 in 5 of the last 7 Masters. And that's like Jordan levels of like can come out of nowhere and just drop in and play well here.
He's definitely the Australian Jordan Spieth for sure.
Yeah, very similar games, honestly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, those are the two that I'm kind of looking at here. I do think after I kind of talked trash about him after he won, Minwoo Lee could.
I know. I saw his name in there too, and we talked about juice, no juice. That guy's just got juice. I want him to be involved on Sunday. You know, like just for viewing purposes alone.
I think the thing with Minwoo is he gets into trouble off the tee, and this is a generally forgiving place off the tee for the most part.
You're not dead. Yeah.
Right. And he's a guy that can make magic happen around the greens. You know, he's got that Dr. Chipinski, right? Like he's in the call. So I don't know. That's another intriguing name there. Corey Connors has a little bit of he's got a good history here.
Yeah, he does.
But I just don't. Definitively, he will not win the Masters. If we had to pick people not to win, and I know it's 70 to 1, but I would definitely say he will not win the Masters.
Yeah, 100% out of all those guys.
Yeah.
Akshay, I mean,
that was my first Masters bet. I caught him at 125 to 1, I think, after the Players. Felt like a misprice. He's here at 65 to 1 the week of. So closing line value, at least.
Yeah, well, and then Zalatoris. I'm not gonna bet him. Obviously, I don't think he can win, but he would be the guy that's like gonna win just because I said that, right? Like that's how I feel about him. Because we need to have a Zalatoris conversation because when he came on the scene, I'm very much like in on that. I think he's played 3 times in the Masters. He's top 10 in all 3. I think I'm correct on that. Obviously, it's a second place, and when he was a debutant, people were really like, I haven't been following it, so maybe I'm just wrong. All I've been hearing this last week is like how good Zalatoris has been.
I don't think that man has done anything in 2 years. And I know he's been injured and he's coming back from the back stuff, but I feel like people are really putting him on a pedestal for not much of a result.
Yeah, and look, I think it's pretty well documented with back injuries and professional golfers. It might be maybe outside of wrist the hardest injury to come back from. I'm not calling him dead, but but again, he's that guy that it's like, because I'm saying he can't win, I would not be surprised if he's in the mix on Sunday. Just because anybody that I talk badly about, you should probably go out and bet right now. So
sure. I want Willie Z to be there. I want him to be like one of our mainstay Ryder Cuppers, right? Like he hasn't had a taste of that because he's been in and out with the injuries and stuff.
Yep.
But I just feel like people are really pushing this Zalatoris thing, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for the lack of, I guess, continued success, yes, I would agree.
He's got one win, and I know he's got these top tens at the Masters, but outside of that, I mean, he did have the PGA. He was in the playoff with JT, but I don't know. It's been a while. All I'm saying is it's been a while. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Anybody else here you want to touch on?
No, I mean, I might take Tom Kim just out of spite for you, but
good luck. You just light your money on fire. Give it to me. I'll do something better with it.
I'll light it on fire. I don't care.
All right, next category: the long shots, but maybe. Like if you squint your eyes, maybe. Here's Brian Harmon, Keegan Bradley, Dustin Johnson are all 100-1. DJ, after doing absolutely nothing for months on end, kind of popped up the last 2 weeks on Live and has shown that he still does play golf professionally. So I don't know. That's a little intriguing to me. First debutant we've got to in the much weaker class of debutants this year than it has been previously. Aaron Rye. He's part of a contingent with Daniel Berger, Sung J M, Davis Thompson, Justin Rose, and Phil Mickelson at 110-1. Phil, I think we need to talk about Phil in terms of like, you got to put him in some like top 10s, top 20s.
Kind of have to. Yeah, you do kind of have to.
I think he's got 2 top 5s in a row in his last few starts at Live. I could be wrong. I don't pay that close attention, but.
By the way, now that we're talking about him, did you see the break that he got at Corral? Holy crap. Like, I saw someone tweet it. I can't remember. Sorry for not giving you credit, but they're like, there's bad breaks. There's really bad breaks. There's horrendous breaks. And then there's whatever happened to Phil on that chip shot, hits the pin, bounces directly right into the water. Like, it was just the worst luck I've ever seen on a golf course, probably ever.
Yeah. I mean, it was shades of, I think it was the 2013 Masters. Tiger had the wedge off the flag on, I believe it was 13.
Yeah. And rolled back into the water. Yeah.
Created a rules controversy out of that. But yeah, he did. That was a true rub of the green. Real bad break there.
But back to him. Yeah. Him at the Masters. I don't think you can go wrong with throwing a little top 20, maybe even a top 10. Probably get some pretty good odds on both of those. I would think those are probably both plus money, a top 20.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I like to do, I don't know, for anybody that has access to sports books that offer each way betting, which we do in Ohio with Bet365, you get some of these guys, these long odds, you can take the each way. In the majors, they give you like up to 8 places.
Yeah.
So essentially you're just doubling your stake on the outright win, but you get like 25% of the odds if they come top 8.
Yep.
So that's like 30-1 or whatever.
That's
on
not
a
bad.
top 8.
That's not bad.
No. So I that's a market, I think, to take advantage of some of these longer shots if you can. Justin Rose, too. I don't think he's been doing too much, but he is one of these like Masters, like he's never won it, but he is a guy that's his record here is one of the best, probably the best of someone who has not won. That's I'm thinking first round leader type of guy. Throw him on the back end of some of these top 20 parlays, things like that. Be a good look there. Outside of that,
you know what I want? I want Aaron Rye in the second to last group, maybe the last group on Sunday, so we can finally publicly shame all the slow players in the world on the biggest stage.
No, we do not want this. The last time we had this was Sam Bennett, and he about ruined
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
At
forgot about
Masters.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost didn't get done before the sun went down. I mean, it was
That
yeah.
was the Rom Brooks duel, and they got caught behind Sam Bennett out there. And poor
Shout out to
Brooks.
Sam Bennett. Yeah, I don't know where he's at. I haven't heard his name in a long time, but yeah, slow player. I think we just need the biggest stage so we can publicly shame people for holding up the golf course. I think that's what golf desperately needs right now.
We need like a green jacket to go up to Aaron Rye and be like, son, we simply do not do this here. You
Yeah.
know, like just we take his iron covers away, take his second glove away. Just we don't do this here. That's what we need.
I mean, for me, the long shots though, like in my heart, I want Keegan to have a chance. For so many reasons, I want him to have the opportunity to be a player captain. I know he said that he'd cross that bridge when he got there. I would love to see him win a Masters. I think he'd be a good steward for a green jacket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people from up in the Northeast have won a green jacket, so that's
It'd be interesting to see. I would go to say probably not many.
Yeah. All right, last group. These are the sort of notables, just names that that I was kind of surprised to see, or there's something interesting we need to say about them. I didn't realize how lost Sam Burns is. I totally forgot about him. He's 120 to 1. Adam Scott, former champion, obviously, and Matt Fitzpatrick, TGL champion, 130 to 1. It's not good.
And he fell off a cliff after that U.S. Open win.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's been not good. Not good.
Yeah. He's another one that parted ways with his caddy, I think, earlier this year. Longtime caddy he got rid of. A lot of guys ditching caddies, thinking that it's going to make them play better. So he is on that list.
Got to change something, and it's never the golfer. So your boy, Scam Young, 200 to 1. Little bit of an interesting thing here, though. He's not doing anything. He does not play. He does not win PGA Tour events. He doesn't win any event, at least not yet. But his major track record is pretty solid. And his track record here at the Masters specifically, for the player that he is actually pretty good. Let me see if I can pull this up too. Where are you at? Scamron. We are, last 2 years, T9, T7. T18 this past week at Valero.
Don't get me started. No. Don't. You want to talk about burning money on anything.
I think that's like a throw him on the make the cut parlay situation is all I'm saying. Can't believe I'm saying this. This man almost won the golf tournament last year. Max Homa is 250 to 1 to win the Masters just a year later. Just parted ways with his longtime friend and caddy.
It's not good. This might be rock bottom.
I mean, we'll see what happens in the tournament. But yeah,
this might be rock bottom. I never thought he would be. Look, I know sometimes like guys just need changes, but I've never been a big fan of like during the biggest struggle of your life, like firing your caddy. I don't know. It just seems like if you're gonna you almost need a friend at that point. You know what I mean, to kind of keep you from really reaching rock bottom. But yeah, I don't know. Until we see like a month where he plays well, it's not looking good for our guy Max.
Yeah, I mean the caddy switch really caught me off guard. Like I said, they've been longtime friends. They grew up together, been through it all together.
Definitely interesting. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. Last but not least here, 1,500 to 1. Angel Cabrera is back in the Masters after serving his time. This man just won on the Champions Tour.
Look, throw me in prison because clearly, like we got our guy Scotty out here winning after going to prison. You know, we got Angel out here winning after going to prison. I like slap an inmate number on me. I'm ready to win a golf tournament.
I mean, I just had to note it just because he just won in the Champions. I couldn't believe when I saw that. I was like, there's no way. And he's teeing it up this week at Augusta. Unbelievable.
Yeah. He played pretty well last week too. He's another one that not Phil's level. Obviously, he's getting pretty far up there in age, but like Wouldn't surprise me if he like makes the cut, right? Just makes the cut. Wouldn't surprise me at the slightest.
No, I mean, coming off a win, geez. That's, yeah. You want to boost the make the cut parlay. There you go, right there.
I wonder if he's still chiefing cigarettes like every 2 a hole, because that's what he used to do. I mean, remember when he was like leading, they couldn't even show him on the camera because he always had a cigarette in his mouth. So
I'd be kind of disappointed if he wasn't, to be honest.
I know, yeah. But maybe he took the time in prison to quit. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Never know. All right, before we get into this draft, I want to read this this stat here that I saw. This comes from someone named Ron Close. Not seen this before, but this was interesting to me. At PJ Splits 101 on X. 13 of the last 13 winners of the Masters had gained at least 18 total strokes tee to green in their 4 tournaments before their Masters win. 14 players in this year's field are entering the week gaining at least 18 strokes tee to green in their last 4 starts. You want to take a shot guessing some of these names?
Yes. No.
Okay. Well, as much as
I'll let you name them, I have no idea.
As much as he hasn't won and everything, Scotty Scheffler still tops this list.
Okay, that makes sense.
31.8 strokes gained tee to green in his last 4. Corey Connors, 30.7. Colin Morikawa, 29.4. Shane Lowry, your data darling, 28.8. JJ Spawn, 25.4. Probably largely on the back of the player's performance, I would guess.
I was going to say probably, yeah.
Rory McIlroy, 24.8. Sepp Straka, 24.6. He's won on tour this year as well. Another interesting name. Aaron Rai, we just talked shit about him, but 21.3. Bryson, 19.6. Lucas Glover, 19.3. Will Zalatoris, I thought he wasn't playing good. Here he is, 19.1. Russell Henley, 18.9. Big Bob McIntyre, 18.5. And I would give you as much money as I had if you could name this person.
Well, I mean, JJ Spawn's on this list. So if you're saying that about someone else, I don't know. I'll go Phil maybe because we were talking about him.
No. Kevin Yu.
Oh, yeah. No, never would have guessed that.
18.1 for Kevin Yu. But yeah, some interesting names. And I mean, to me, like the way this tournament's been leading in, seeing data like that, this kind of feels like if we don't get one of those like first 5 to 6 names is the winner,
we're going to get something obscure.
Yeah. I think we're due kind of maybe for one of these.
Obscure champion. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, like a Danny Willett or something like just out of nowhere. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be big names up there, but I could see like some guy weaseling his way in, some long shot weaseling his way in and winning. Yeah,
I mean, even the Danny Willett year, like he wasn't a household name, but he was up to like 12th in the world.
Yeah. I don't want to say he was like obscure, but I think his odds were pretty long. If I'm not like I think I remember it was like 60 or 70 to 1. I think is what he was going into the tournament.
Yeah, he was.
So
for sure.
For a top 15 player in the world, he still had pretty long odds.
That would basically be like Russ Henley winning. He's 55 to 1. And
I think that'd be pretty obscure. Like, no offense to Russ Henley. I said I wouldn't talk bad about him, but with all those names out there, Russ Henley winning the Masters would be pretty obscure.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a nice little overview of everybody, at least the players that will likely matter come Sunday. And with that, I think it's time. Let's go ahead and do our back 9 6-pack Masters draft. We are each going to take 6 players. Lowest score total to par of the players that make the cut will win this one. We can snake it. Do you? I
think you won our NFL snake draft. I think I'm going to let you. You've earned the first pick.
Okay, I've earned the first pick. I kind of like you're going to be in a better spot here at the turn, I think, than me. But come on, I mean, who would I be if I didn't put my name behind Mr. Rory McIlroy?
Okay, I figured that's the route you were going to go.
Yeah, I think the form, the 2 wins, the all-around game. Some of these other guys maybe not at their best. I think it's his time.
Well, then I think there's the only other person I could go with for my first pick is Scotty. I think he's got a legit chance of putting his name with the likes of Jack and Tiger this week. So I'll go Scotty with my first pick. And then coming back around to me, I'm going to go with John Rahm.
Yeah. That's why I was hoping I almost wanted the snake because I think getting whoever's left of Rory Scotty plus Rahm is like very, very, very strong.
Good. Yep.
Because now it's almost like I have to go off the board a little bit even. Ugh, gross. That group at plus 1800 is just like
it's not great.
I think there's a definitive tier. Those top three. Maybe it's the top two, and then Rahm's on his own, and then there's another one.
Yep.
Ugh. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna take Morikawa.
Okay.
Feels like he's playing
well.
Well,
As we talked about, he's made some cuts. He's got some top 10s here, so he might not be a guy to get you the win, but definitely get you on the board.
That's what I'm thinking. That's like kind of the safety dance pick here. Now it gets tough. I've always hated Bryson at this tournament, but then he, T6 last year kind of made me think a little bit. I think I'm going to take Ludwig.
Okay. That's not terrible.
Just hope the driving.
I think a pretty high floor. That's not the worst pick in the world. All right, so it's back to me. I'm going to take Bryson.
Okay.
I'm not a guy with. I don't like high floors. I like high ceilings, and I definitely think he can win. I don't know if he will, but I definitely think he can. I'm going to come back around. I'm going to dig a little deeper on this one. I think I'm going to go down to Shane Lowry.
Ooh, okay.
So I took a pretty hefty step here to plus 4,500 with Shane Lowry, skipping over some decent guys.
I think I'm going to take a step too. The question is, here's the thing: if I don't take him here, you're going to take him, and I don't know if I want to have him or if I want you to have him. That's the problem with Mr. Jordan Spieth here. Man, how healthy is Xander? That's the question here.
I'm steering clear of him. You can have him.
Yeah, that might just be a swing back later for the 6th pick. Then I don't know. I'm gonna go a little off the board myself. No, we're gonna go Brooks here. I've already bet on Brooks. I should go ahead and take him.
I was gonna say, I thought that was like the low hanging fruit there.
Yeah, I just worry I don't know. We just talked about it. He's either gonna come out here and he's going to try to win this thing, or he's going to be dust from go. So we'll take that. I'm gonna drop a little bit as well here. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna take Cam Smith.
Okay. We each got a live guy now. Well, you got 2 live guys.
I love live.
Oh,
that's also a bit of an oversight on my part. I thought I had more picks left than this. Sorry, but we're gonna stick with it.
Oh, so how many you got? You got 6 now?
I've got 5. I got 1 pick left. Yeah, okay. You've got 3 left to make here. Yep. No, 2 left.
Yep. All right. I'm going to take Hideki, past champion. Never count him out. I don't know how great he's playing so far this year, but
he has a win and then he's kind of disappeared. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what Hideki does.
Yeah. So I'll take a Hideki. My 6th pick, I'm going to take. Man, I've already dug deep on Lowry.
There are 2 guys on the board here that I cannot believe are on the board.
You know what? Give me JT.
I was gonna say you've already bet JT.
Yeah, give me JT. I'll take JT. That again, I'll if I didn't have him, I'd be sad if he won and I didn't have him, or if we left him on the board and he ends up winning. Although that would be pretty standard procedure for us.
I'm really at a crossroads here because it's like I'm the Jordan Spieth truther. I'm defending his honor in group chats left and right.
I have enough wagers on him this week.
That's the thing. It's like I don't know if I want to double down on it, right? Like
I was not planning on doubling down. So
Xander's still there, but like I just think he's hurt, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not ready to take Xander. This is so tough and so sad. I'm literally between Russell Henley and Jordan Spieth. Like, that's where we're at. That says a lot about Jordan Spieth, I think.
Or does it say a lot about Russell Henley? Like we said we were going to talk bad about him, but
yeah,
we don't maybe believe in him as much as we say we do.
All the trends and stuff just fit. Like, Henley fits, man. And
Spieth is a flyer. Russell's probably the better bet.
And just looking at, Spieth the Masters Magic, even he missed a cut last year. It's like, since the win, it's like either third or 46. Like, that's kind of where he's at. And then just to take a quick peek at, where is Russell Henley at? I know he's not that far. Oh, there he is. His T38 last year, but he does have a T4, T15, a T11. He's just been playing solid. I got to put my money where my mouth is, and my draft picks where my mouth is. I'm taking Spieth. Give it to me. So
I knew you couldn't pass him up. You couldn't pass him up.
I was hoping you'd take him just so I didn't have to, but you left me no choice there.
All
right, just to round up these teams real quick. Justin has Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama, and Justin Thomas. I've got Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Ludwig Oberg, Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith, and Jordan Spieth. Interesting.
Yeah, I need a W in one of these drafts that we do. I'm just taking L's left and right. So
you might just want to rock up at the U.S. Open at Oakmont with your team, dude. Like, I think you got a squad for Oakmont right there.
Hopefully for the Masters, for my sake.
Hopefully.
Again, I'm tired of taking L's in these drafts.
I know.
Taking too many of them.
I know. All right. On to the next thing. Let's I want to talk final three groups. This could be who you want to see, because I know there is who would the network want to see, who would CBS want to see. But that could be different for what you want to see, So what do you got? What's your third to last group?
Rahm and Phil Mickelson.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Obviously two live guys, but having Phil in the hunt on a Sunday at the Masters, it's like apple pie. You know what I mean? Like, it has to happen. It feels right.
I'm with you.
And Rahm, just for the pure, absolute entertainment value that it could have. Maybe anger, who knows? It's kind of a mixed bag. So
right. Yeah, this third spot for me, there's two ways I could go. You know me, I can't make my mind. We're gonna have honorable mention here. I think that third to last group, you either want it to be like a couple thoroughbreds that can run some shit down, or you need good stories, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So for me, I'm torn between just straight up, give me Rahm and Scotty, the last two champions, just a couple dogs chasing down the last two groups, or let's do a Russ Henley, Justin Rose,
I
got an old guy kind of in the twilight of his career, could solidify his resume with a second major versus, Henley. This would be a game, absolute career changer if he were to win.
Yeah.
So I kind of like having those storylines, but I'm
when
torn.
You said feel good stories, I thought you were going to tag Brian Harmon in here. So I thought you maybe
learned about that before, after I made this list. So unfortunately, I didn't have time. My editors didn't have time to give me new notes. So it is what it is.
Well, my second to last group, Scotty and Spieth. Two Texas guys.
Yeah.
Two very, very different playing styles.
Yeah.
One is very accurate. The other one is just kind of, saddles up whatever game he's got that day. So I think that would be pretty entertaining. Big names again. I think that would be really good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. We've got a little bit of symmetry coming now. My second to last group, I'm going Spieth and Phil. I want
that would be pretty entertaining.
Pure electricity. I think, did we get this last year? Or did they just both end up tied for up there?
I don't think we got it last year.
Maybe it was 2 years ago.
It might have been. It wasn't last year. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, there was a year where both of them, recently, where they both went mega low, made a run on Sunday. Yeah, Spieth and Phil just.
God, there'd be golf balls flying every which way in that group. I mean, like, good God. But wedge game for both of those guys, just it would be a wedge seminar. So,
and I think those two, like, they both have always been kind of the person that needs like that opposite person to them to push them a little bit.
Yeah.
And so they'd both be like escalating the crazy, right?
Yeah. Like, watch this, kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, all right. My final group, I went with Rory and Bryson.
That's the only answer.
Polar opposites when it comes to like just, I don't know, just mentality, personality, just complete opposites. And I think that would be really fun for both of them to be in the final group. I mean, you got Bryson out there carrying signs last year, like it was the cross, it's like that is entertainment value. Like having that with Rory as Rory's trying to chase down a green jacket would be the best entertainment value you could probably have.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that I think it's the right answer. It's what my answer was too.
And going back to the U.S. Open, obviously, that ties into it as well.
Going back to that, I think it would be a terrible spot for Rory. Like,
wouldn't be great.
The Bryson antics out there,
grunting after drives.
Yeah, just I don't know. I don't think it would go well, but that would be the best theater, I think, for sure.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
All
absolutely. Right. I'm glad we lined up on that. I thought we would have the same final group.
Yeah, I just think it has to be the most interesting combination out there. I'd be, absent like if Tiger were playing and it was Tiger Phil, 47 and 52 or whatever age they are. That I think in today's game, that's where we're at.
For sure. Yep, absolutely.
All right, pivoting to a little bit of sadness. One and done.
God,
we cannot avoid the T33 for 50K right now. That's just like where we're living.
Look, I mean, hey, it's honest work. I told you that. It is, like we're making paychecks, we're making our mortgage payment, but we're not doing much more than that.
No, absolutely not. Patrick Cantlay shoots a back 940 yesterday, drops a triple on the par 5 18th to shoot 77 and plummet down the leaderboard. For a while there, it was looking like we were going to get a top 10. He was hanging, and then no, just dust on Sunday. So yeah, we picked up $50,666 apropos because he is the devil. So we're in 3,781st place now, just hanging in there. We've been there for forever. Barely 1.4 million to our name. Just God, it's so bad.
Bad.
We have to go live here, right?
Yeah. I and I'm telling you, I'm on the Bryson train this week. I feel like I feel like it's his time. Like he kind of figured the golf course out last week. I mean, par 67 for him out here. You got to remember that. So, but I think he figured out how to play the golf course last year. I really do. And I think that when you're talking about Augusta, I think that's one of the mental hurdles is like figuring out how to score on this golf course. And I think he kind of got over that last year.
God, dude. You're going to do this to me?
I was like that or Brooks. I mean, really. I mean, I guess we could go Rahm, but I don't know.
I'm thinking Rahm, and this is the only reason I say this because you can only use the live guys at these majors. I just think having Bryson and Brooks available for PGA or
US Open. All right, I'll bend on this. I mean, I don't want to. Bryson's for sure going to win now, but.
Look, I've been making a lot of these picks, so like if you want to take Bryson,
no, I want Bryson. You know what? I'm not bending on this. I want Bryson. I want it. Look, if it blows up in our face, I will take full responsibility. But I feel like Rahm's going to be pretty heavily played. I think Bryson. I know that. Look, a lot of people are going to take live guys, but just because it's the majors and you only get really 4 chances at using them. It just feels like I think less people will be on Bryson.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. All right, we'll do it. This blows on your hands.
Yes.
All right, Bryson DeChambeau, the official back 9 6-pack one and done pick of the week. God, now I have to root for him to win. That's the problem. You see what you're doing.
He's so much more likable now than he was a couple years ago.
So I was texting. Shout out to our buddies Joe and Aaron from the club. we were texting a little bit about this, and I was like, the problem with Bryson, like I can take Bryson in small doses. If he wins the Masters, he's in our lives until I die. Like he's gonna be at the Masters.
There's
every
gonna
year
be a 70-year-old Bryson DeChambeau out there playing, and he'll be the guy that like will never stop playing.
No,
like, he's like, I can still play.
Yeah, he's gonna be like a more unbearable Gary Player, essentially. So like I don't think I want him to win purely because I don't want that. But here we are. It's fine.
Perfect. I love it. I love that we went with him.
Oh God. All right. Let's check in a couple fan mail notes real quick before you had something, right, on the fan mail front.
Yeah, shout out to Chase. He texted me last week. He said hot take. I agree with this take. He's like, I would gladly go with the Masters rules of no phones at other sporting events to have the concession cost of the Masters. And I think that's 100%, dude. I don't need my phone at a Bengals game. I don't need my phone at a Reds game. Like, leave it. If that means I'm going to be buying like $5 beers, $2 hot dogs, like, I'm all for it. I'll leave the phone in the car. I don't really care.
I legitimately want like events, sporting events, shows, whatever, should do this anyway. We should put your phone in a lockbox or whatever.
Leave
it
it
at the end of it.
Yep.
One of the best, actually not even just one of, going to the practice around the Masters, you leave your phone in the car. You just enjoy an entire day at Augusta National. Amazing. Also,
awesome.
when I've been out in the mountains and you have no service and there's no reason to take your phone out, like it's just some of the most, peaceful moments you're going to have. And I think phones today just distract so much from like sporting events and live shows. And I remember taking my, wife and kid or whoever down to Disney, and you're trying to watch the fireworks at Disney. And literally I have a picture. Look, I'm guilty. I had my phone out to take one picture. But when you look at the picture, people just like full on recording video on like iPads and stuff of the fireworks. Like, let's just all be present and do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't even care about the concession prices. Just take the phones away. I'm good with it.
Well, I think I'm like, I would 100% forego phones to have those concession prices.
Yeah. That's a great take. Hall of Fame take. All right. Other fan mail notes. Let's see what we got here. We got shout out to Hinkle, our boy, chiming in on the most frustrating moments in golf. We talked about last week, did our power rankings. He's right in line with us. The number one on the list is the just absolutely smashing a drive and then dumping your wedge. He specifically calls out into a greenside bunker where you make bogey or double easily now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing worse than being position A and then blowing it, right? That's
what I hinted at with like the par 5 when you're like greenside and it's like you just find a way to fuck it up and not even make par. You know what I mean? Like that's or even par sometimes pisses me off. By the way, we got a little visitor here. I did not want him barking in the show. So
shout out to Shank.
Yeah, Shank is yeah, awesome. I have not hit a Shank since we got him, by the way. So
that's good.
It's always in my mind.
Did you see the camera angle of the Justin Rose shank from this weekend?
Oh my gosh, what a horrendous! Oh my god,
it was like right down the line of the shank coming at you. Like
I think there's no better camera angle for that than what they had.
No, for sure. All right, next one. This is from my loving wife. Shout out to Susie. Congratulations on 100 episodes. I'm proud of your hard work and can't wait to listen to 100 more. Cheers. God willing that there will be 100 more.
Yes. Yeah.
But thank you. And honestly, thank you to her. Look, we've done this basically every Monday night for 2 straight years. Like, you got dinner, bath time, bedtime stuff going on. So, like, shout out to
and Danielle, we're both married to teachers. You get conference nights thrown in there. Like, just a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, shout out to her for letting us do this stupid thing. Did you get any other texts or anything?
Nope. That was the only one I got.
Nice. All right. Well, just a reminder, please, always down in the description of the show. Click that link if you want to send us some fan mail. We'll happily read that on the show. And now it is time. First time live edition.
Yeah.
We're taking it to the patio for a patio beer segment. If you're new to the show, welcome. Patio beers. Anything goes in the patio. These questions, we do not tell each other about these ahead of time. We've done this now 100 something times. We've probably had a couple repeat questions at this point, but not too many. But yeah, You want to?
Yeah, I'll kick us off. We have a lot of food. Just for anybody that's new, we've had a lot of food, restaurant related questions.
Sure.
This is new. I mean, it's down the food route, but this is definitely a new question. If you got one, like, you're not dying. I don't want it to be that way, but like, if you're like, I get to eat out at a restaurant one more time. That's it. You get one more time. You get to eat out the rest of your life. Where are you eating that meal? And what are you having on that meal?
God, dude. Such a good question. I feel even more pressure now that we're live too. Even beyond the normal pressure of the Patio Beer segment. Gosh, I mean, I've had so many meals where you're like, damn, that could have been the best one that I've had,
Yeah.
right? And yet trying to think of it on the spot is very difficult. It's hard, like being in Cincinnati here, like it's really hard to pass up on a place like the Precinct or Ruby's downtown or whatever, just because like those are like some of the meals you have where it feels like an actual experience more so than just a meal. Like you're usually with a big group of people. It's all the bells and whistles you could ever want. I don't know, that comes to mind, obviously. But then there's like the other meals where it's like, man, I hit this dive when we were on vacation wherever, and it's like the wings just, you know what? That's what it's going to be. I'm going to get there. I still cannot get these wings haunt me. The Bulldog Cafe in Whitefish, Montana.
You went with a place in Montana. Holy crap. Okay.
Dude, I know it's not fancy. It's none of that.
I was expecting something local. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, I gave you the Ruby's preamble, the Precinct, all that stuff. But I think it was our 10th anniversary trip. They have these Huckleberry hot wings. The most unique sauce I've ever had. The wings I've never had, like, they were just like the perfect double fried, double dipped wings. It was the vibe. It was the first night of our trip, so it was like, you know, vibes are high, all that stuff. So really, it's more about like recapturing the moment than it is the meal itself.
By the way, I'm glad you said double dipped because there's no other way to eat a chicken wing than double dipped.
I mean, I've seen the light, you know, and I'm gonna see the light from the clogged arteries from eating them, but yeah, it's like, dude, it's another level.
That's interesting. So you went out of town to a restaurant on a vacation. I don't disagree with that.
Small divey pub in a small Montana town too.
You can never go wrong with a dive bar.
Yeah.
Dive bar food is some of the best. It's the best invention we've ever had in America. And we do it right. Like, I know some of the pubs in like Scotland and all that, they have food, but like we have grimy, clog your artery food. You know what I mean? And that's the only way I feel like a bar should be.
Yeah, and cold beers.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so mine, I went local, and like I thought about, you know, like Jeff Ruby's, this and that. I'm going with a different steakhouse. This place is 5 minutes from my house.
I knew it.
I have a waiter that always waits on me. You know, shout out to Corey. He's the man. He's from. I don't have many Canadians in my life, but he is the one Canadian that I have one of the Canadians in my life. But Jags. I went with Jags. I'm getting their filet mignon, and I'm getting it with their garlic mashed potatoes. They call them something weird, but they're green beans. I think they're like, I can't even remember what they're called. They have them something on the menu. And I'm like, what is this? He's like, that's green beans. I'm like, I always thought you didn't have green beans because they're not like listed as green beans on the menu. But, and I'm getting a smoked old fashioned. They have, I think, the best smoked old fashioned I've ever gotten at a restaurant at Jags.
Mm.
Buffalo Trace is the only way to go. So for me, at least at Jags, but I'm going with Jags. That's where I would go. That'd be my last dinner.
I respect it. I mean, Jags is great.
It's for me, it's, you know, geographically speaking, it's 5 minutes from me. But I also I know a couple of the bartenders and I got a waiter. Like, I just know people in there. So like, it'd be enjoyable for me to go in there and have my last like time I'm ever eating out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I did see on Instagram, shout out to Tommy Turndogs. He asked if we could do some live questions. Look, if anybody's still watching,
fire away.
Fire him in there. We'll try to get to him. I don't know if you've got any on Twitter, Justin, or X. Sorry. God damn it, I did it. But yeah, I got the Instagram chat open if anybody's got one before we move on. But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing about the meal question is it's like, do you just go like the local spot down the street that you just love and the person knows your name and you get great service and, you know, it's like that? Or is it like I said, you know, finding that experience in that moment from a snapshot in time where it was like, this was the best thing you were doing.
Yeah.
Right then.
I don't hate that route. I mean, I think you can go either route. Yeah. For me, like I just frequent the same places a lot. That like there's just something about walking in and like knowing the bartender and like knowing who your waiter is going to be and like you got a history there. Like they kind of, you know, like I just made eye contact with him the last time I was at Jags. He knew exactly what old fashioned I wanted. Like didn't even have to order it. Just brought it to the table. Like I made eye contact and I got my drink. Like there's something special about that.
The only time that something like that's ever happened to me, we were on our honeymoon. We did an all inclusive in the Dominican, and it was like one of those, you know, you just pull the move. You give the big tip to the bartender the first day.
Yeah. Yep.
And every time you come up to the pool bar, boom, there's your rum and coke waiting for you, right? So yeah, I know it's awesome. Couple comments here. So shout out Big Pat chimed in. Can we keep trees falling at the club? Absolutely. I'm on record as anti-tree at the club.
Yeah,
take them all down.
We've lost some good ones this year. I played in. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a heel comment. The one tree that keeps everybody from cutting that corner. I made the comment that I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know there was a tree there." Kind of a dick move by me. I'm not gonna lie, but I hate that trees are falling down. Like, especially it feels like the ones that are falling down are just too coincidentally like. Yeah, there's something there. Like, I don't know. Maybe they might be getting some help. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Look, take them away. It's good. The one that just fell down, for anybody listening who doesn't know the course, like we've got a dogleg right uphill par 5 on one of our 9s, and it's tree lined up the right, and there was this one tree that stood out above all of them, and it leaned out too, also towards the fairway. So if you wanted to cut the corner, you had to take a pretty aggressive line kind of around it almost.
Yep.
Or play out to the left, but then that corner gets really short because there's used to be bunkers, but now there's just kind of like trees and another hole on the other side. So it was a tough tee shot. I'm really curious to go see the shot now because I imagine it's a lot more forgiving.
It probably feels more open. Like it might not be like a crazy amount open. Like it didn't like, oh, now I have 20 more yards. It probably just from the eye looks like it's way more open now. Because it did kind of lean over. But honestly, it was kind of an aiming point for people that cut the corner. Like you kind of wanted to hit it right over the right, just to the right of center of that tree was like the perfect line. Yeah. Gonna have to find a new aim point now, I guess.
It looked like from the pictures that you can actually like see the fairway.
You might be able to see your ball land now because before you go behind that tree, and you're like, that might be okay, but it like had a cut on it. In the back of your mind, you're like, it's not going to be okay. But now you might actually be able to see it land and kick right into the hazard. So,
yeah. Oh, Pat chimed back in. It was an FU elm, is what he said. Shout out to Tyler from Tampa here who mentions the kitchen sink nachos. Those are putters up here in Westchester.
Oh, yeah, dude, those are good. Oh, holy crap. Those are pretty good.
An absolute mess of a plate. Like, truly disgusting food to be eating. But, you know, sometimes you got to do it.
Again, we do bar food right in America. We really do.
Yeah, that's one of a few things. Tommy Turndog's question here. Favorite menu item at Augusta? I can take this one.
Yeah, I've never been there. I got this hat from a friend. So
the pimento cheese gets obviously all the billing. It's a little bit more, you know, it's kind of unique or different. Most people don't really know what that is if you're not from the South. But still very good. Don't get me wrong, still very good. A lot of people hype the chicken sandwich. Not bad. Kind of comparable to Chick-fil-A, but I don't think it's as good. And that's coming from me, if you know my track record with Chick-fil-A. I think for me, the pulled pork, in terms of the sandwiches, might be my favorite, but I think I'm gonna go pimento cheese. I know it's kind of like I don't know, not a unique take, but I think for me, it's like you're in the moment, and that's the thing. But the best menu item overall is the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich, far and away.
Man, I wish like peach is one of those things that I wish I liked, but I don't like.
Dude, it's like two soft sugar cookies with peach ice cream between it.
God, that sounds so good. And I don't even like peach, but it sounds good. I've
So
had
good.
one at our party. Again, I'm not like a big peach person though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never. I like a lot of Southern cuisine, but peach has never been something I've ever been able to get behind.
Yeah, Tom says pulled pork for the W, which I think it's between.
I've heard that too. I've heard that more. If it's not the pulled pork, it's pimento cheese for sure. Like from people that I know have been there.
You'll get a lot of egg salad sandwich stands though. That's shout out to Nikki.
Like I like egg salad sandwiches, but like they just don't differ that much from place to place. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to stand out.
That, and for me, it's like, dude, if you're there on a hot day at Augusta, like
I don't know. I don't know if I want to be putting eggs in my stomach.
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't sit right with me walking around the property there. But yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for your questions, comments. Love that. First time doing the live show. That's great. Get a little audience interaction. I think that's it. Any other closing Masters thoughts? Anything you?
No, you didn't do your question there, guy.
Oh shit! I got so involved in that. Thank you. Did
you not read the New York Times? Whatever the thing is again.
No,
we need a real big. We need a conundrum here from you.
Well, it's a golf conundrum. I don't know if you saw your Rick Golf's guy. I saw him retweet this. I don't want to give this guy a shout out. Kind of seemed like a bit of a scumbag situation. But
chimed in. I think I know the argument you're talking about. I chimed in.
Okay, I figured you might have. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So some guy posted he's watching the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Apparently he's been there a few times too. I got way too deep in the comments on the whole thread. But he's like a 1 handicap, has been a scratch, whatever. He claimed that there was no way he would not shoot 67 on the layout or the setup that they played for that tournament, which I thought was an absolutely egregious.
It's just egregious.
Okay. I just wanted to get your perspective as, you're a plus handicap these days. Like I don't know. I went and did the math real quick because they list the hole lengths on the website. It played around 6,365 yards on the scorecard, right? There were only 4 par 4s over 400 yards. That would be 5, 10, and 11. Holes 3 and 7 were 340 and 330 yards respectively. The longest par 3 was hole 4 at 170 yards. The other 3 were 165 and then 2 at 145. And the par 5s played 515, 480, 455, and 475.
It's not overly long, and I don't think that's I don't like. To me, the argument doesn't. For him saying that, like the argument doesn't start there. The argument starts at when you're playing specifically Augusta National in tournament conditions, with those greens and those the undulation around the greens, chipping and putting become a premium. Well, I've played with enough +5s, +4s, +3s. They have phenomenal short games, but you put them in a tournament situation on a tournament golf course with tournament pins, putting and chipping is not like putting and chipping at your club. Like it's exponentially harder, tighter lies, more undulation, faster greens. Like it goes on. And my exact reply was, I said he'd struggle to break 90 because frankly, I don't know if he'd have under 38 or 40 putts. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
That's where he would struggle. So if he has 40 putts, I mean, you're automatically at what, 45 or 85? You know what I mean? Like you're probably shooting 8, and that's like if everything else goes right. Correct? In my thinking, which is just crazy. Like, especially being like a 1.4, it's like, okay, so you're throwing out your top highest 60 scores ish. So I bet he's not even shot in the 60s on a regular golf course. Like, it's just an asinine take. Like, okay. I mean, his whole point is like, I drive the ball 287. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, yeah, there's probably some girls that were out there not, probably hitting it 245, 250 off the tee. But I played in a Symetra Tour Pro-Am. Both of those girls were hitting the ball 285, 290 off the tee. They were not short, like not at all. And I know a few of those girls that were up at the top of the leaderboard, they were, they're relatively long hitters for, amateur, like regular guy amateur golfers. Like they're probably hitting it 270, 275, 280. They're just as long as he is. You know what I mean? So, and they didn't just go out there and shoot 67, so I think the over under would probably start at like 83 or 84 for that guy at the minimum.
Yeah, he pulled the Bryson. It's a par 67 for me.
Yeah, that I saw that take and I'm like, they're like, if he was like, I'm a +5, I'd be like, okay, your over under would start at like 75 or 76, probably, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even low, like +5, probably be like 73, 74, especially a male +5. That's probably a high level college golfer from 6,200 yards. Yeah, they're probably going to have a decent chance, at least breaking par, maybe being in contention at that tournament. We're talking like a guy that goes to like Ohio State to play golf or Oklahoma State or like name Alabama. But still like even like a +2 weekend golfer, no chance to break 7. Really, probably no chance to break 75 out there.
Yeah, I mean that was my gut reaction for sure. Because it just, like you said, it takes away. He's just discounting the nuance of the short game, the putting, the wedge, even the wedge shots. Like even he's like, oh, most of the par fours are drivable. One, no, they're not, and two, you're going to be in like the weirdest spots, and then if you miss in the wrong spot on top of that, it's like an auto bogey.
Well, like I think his point is he said he was going to have wedges in your hand. I'm like, bro, that's the worst thing that, like, you want to talk about spinning balls off the green, stuff like that. Like, one, if he's a 1.4, he can't control spin. So he's going to be hitting these wedges in there, full blast spin, probably spinning things off the green, even if he can hit the green. And I think what people don't realize is like how tight lies are, like on a tournament, like a tough golf course. Like when I played Coldstream in the Ohio Mid-Am, like, dude, there was some lies around the greens that you're like, holy shit, am I even hitting off grass right now? Like, it's really like, you're like, there's like no room for error here. And like, I'm sure Augusta National was no different in the pitching areas. So
they famously mow the grass so that like you're always in the green,
into the green, which is, for everybody knows, that is the hardest chip in the world.
Yeah.
Now throw like into the grain on an uphill lie, and you're trying to like pitch it to a short-sided pin. Good luck, bro. Like that'd take him 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy take. Okay. It's funny. That's the one thing you'll see it every once in a while pop up on like X golf and all that. Like people that are pretty active on there. Every once in a while, you'll see a guy in the comments like, I probably could have made the cut at like the Women's US Open. I'm a 2 handicap. No, you couldn't. You wouldn't even been able to qualify for it. Like that's how good some of these girls are. So it's absolutely crazy. Crazy talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm glad my gut was right on that one. I figured, but I was curious what you thought. So
yeah, people, man, I tell you, if they had the confidence they did, like behind a keyboard on Twitter or X or whatever, that they do with their golf game and just regular life, they'd probably do a lot of great things. But like, I think what happens is you get guys that go from like a 7 to a 2 and they're like, I'm so freaking good at golf. And they just have like no idea that there's this whole universe of like the 1.5% of people that are better than him that are just like, and then the steps from like where he's at to a plus and where a plus is at compared to a professional golfer, those leaps and bounds the gaps are so wide, especially if you're like a newer scratch golfer. Like you just don't understand how wide those gaps are.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
So like, I think someone put it I saw a comment when I just looked at mine. Someone was like, the step from like a +5 golfer to a professional golfer is further away than a +5 is to a 20. And I actually agree with that take. I think a 20 is closer to a +5 than a +5 is to being a professional golfer.
Yeah, just like I think the floor ceiling between, you know what I mean? Like the ceiling of the 20 and the floor of the +5 makes it tighter, right?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Good chat there. Man, 100 episodes, live show down. We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it live.
Love it. Thanks for everybody coming. Yeah, we appreciate, we do this for fun. I think it's fun for us to get on here and talk about the game we love every week, and we definitely don't take that for granted. So we appreciate everybody listening and being part of what we've done over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, that couldn't say it better. Could not say it better. Again, shout out to our wives for letting us do this every Monday night. Shout out to our friends that have, supported us along the way, hopped in and got on the mics, recorded us doing something stupid on the golf course, whatever it was. Like, thank you all. It's been a blast. And again, cheers to another 100 more.
Yep.
Enjoy the Masters this week, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please, on the way out, smash that like button, subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back96Back. Until next time, cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.